Automakers are expected to sell 17 million cars this year. That's the big prediction, but the recalls just don't seem to end. Ford, for example, announcing a recall of 220,000 of its vehicles just this weekend. But General Motors' recall is still pretty much the behemoth, making headlines. This weekend was GM's deadline for individuals to file their claims tied to accidents caused by a faulty ignition switch. Out of the 4,180 claims, did you hear me? 4,180. Only 128 are eligible so far. Can GM finally set its recall saga to rest? GM Ignition Switch Compensation Program Administrator Ken Feinberg, the man who's been in charge of looking through every one of those claims, joins us. Thank you for being here.
Glad to be here.
What, right off the bat, was the most surprising thing to you as you received these thousands of claims?
Well, we've received some weird claims. One claimant wanted her dog compensated who died in an accident. Another claimant claimed that her airbags didn't deploy in a 1963 Chevy Corvair.
There are no airbags.
There were no airbags in it. Okay. So, I mean, we've got some strange claims, but overall, I think people have responsibly filed their claims. We'll look at each claim. We'll see if the ignition switch was the proximate cause of the accident, and if it is, we'll pay it.
Okay, let's talk about the numbers, though. So far, as we said, 128 are eligible. I'm doing math, 51 deaths that were directly attributable to this issue, 69 injuries. That equals 120. What are the other 8?
Oh, that's part of the physical injuries.
So that's
also
part of the injuries.
Yes.
The other 3,000 and such, I mean, are these greedy people trying to game the system?
No, I think for the most part they're hoping to see what will happen. Of those 4,180 claims, about 1,500 of them are claims with no documentation, zero. Just a claim form. No pictures of the accident, no
police
photos,
report?
Nothing, zero. So you take 1,500. Now we'll go back to those claimants, please.
Find something.
Find us a police report. Find us photos of the accident, maintenance records, etc.
Ken, do they usually come back with anything, or were they just trying to get money?
Well, we'll see. I mean, some come back with something. Some aren't represented by lawyers, and now we tell them what they need, and they'll go find some documentary proof.
Okay, how many people who are relatives of those who died have accepted the money?
Every single claimant who's eligible has accepted the money. We have not had yet one claimant who has said, you're not being generous enough, we're going to opt out and litigate. No one's done that yet. Now, in 9/11, you'll recall, 97% accepted. In BP, 92% accepted. So 100% is even beyond what I thought.
You were in charge of those victim compensation funds, too. But this perhaps is a more difficult question to quantify. How do you value a life, Ken? I mean, when you're looking across at the father of, I guess, without sounding harsh, is an older person's life less valuable because they've lived most of it than a younger person's life?
We value lives in this program and in 9/11 and in BP. We value lives the way judges and juries do it every single day in every court in the United States. One, what would the victim have earned during a work life but for her or his death or injury? Add to that at least $1 million in pain and suffering under our program. There is the award. It's not rocket science. Judges and juries do it every day. What I don't do is attempt to value the moral integrity of a life or good deeds.
Meaning some of these people were either speeding or distracted or maybe drunk. You guys didn't take any of that into account.
Unlike a courtroom, irrelevant. Right. We didn't look at contributory negligence in any way, shape, or form.
When is this case closed?
Well, if you filed a claim, okay. It's too late to file now. January 31 was the deadline, but you're right. We'll need months to go through the inventory, probably late spring, early summer, before we wrap up all of the inventory and give people who are deficient claims and haven't given us any documentation, give them a chance to come back with something.
GM, have they stayed out of your hair?
Completely.
Mary Barra, completely?
Mary Barra said at the outset of this program, to me and to the public, we're turning it over to Ken Feinberg. We will not question, we will not appeal, we will not challenge. They have stayed away. They have done exactly what they've said they will do, and they have cooperated 100%.
Okay, so the person with the dog didn't get money, right?
No.
Okay.
And the person with the 1963 Chevrolet Corvair didn't get any money.
Because there are no airbags in 1963 vehicles. Ken, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. We'll continue to watch you do this job.
Please.
And follow it up.
Thank
Ken
you.
Feinberg, friend of this broadcast, 28 minutes.